In this video, I'm going to show you how I went from Taco Bell to a six-figure job, essentially going from 10K a year to 10K a month. I posted a video yesterday explaining how I did it, but it was more of a commentary. Rightfully so, a lot of people thought it was fake. Where's the proof? Well, good thing is that I recorded the last year of my life. I have hundreds of gigabytes of video showing my raw emotion and feeling as I was going through life with $6 in my bank account, realizing I need to make some changes in my life or else I would have gone homeless, selling all of my valuables, things that I thought I would never sell just to pay rent because I refused to get a job, to being flown out to New York twice by this six-figure job that I got. It doesn't make sense, but what I want to show you is that anything is possible if you put your mind to it. Don't give up no matter where you are in life. Things always get better. Right now I'm going to McDonald's job interview. Yeah, this is crazy. Definitely a humbling experience. Alright guys, I got some good news. I just got hired at Taco Bell. $12 an hour. They just hired me on the spot pretty much. I just have to go home and finish up all the tax stuff. I'm pretty stoked, but it just sucks that it's only gonna be like part-time for now. I don't know how I'm gonna make it work because I don't think I can survive off only part-time. I did the math. If you get like 20 hours a week, 80 hours a month is only like less than $1,000, bro. And my rent is pretty much $1,000. I just want to jump in for a little bit. I'm talking about how I don't know how I'm going to do it. At the time, my expenses, rent was $1,025, internet and electricity were $100 a month together. The phone bill was $15. So that's about $11.40, I think, total expenses. If you don't include anything else like water, food, stuff like that. I was really trying to eat at Taco Bell every day because I did not have the budget to buy food. With the amount of money I was making, about $1,400 a month, I was working 30 hours on average per week at $12 an hour. Just depends on if we took lunch or not, or if I came in early, left late, whatever. It was about $1,400 a month, which means I had my income $1,400 minus the expenses of $1,140. Was that like $260 of savings every month? If I work for a whole year, I'll have like $3,000 in savings. There were two extra things that I did, I guess side hustles that made me a little bit of extra money. One of them was a website where you essentially sell your data, you do surveys. I was making anywhere from 150 to 300 depending on how hard I grinded it. And then I would also sell my plasma. At the time, I think I was getting $300 a month. So 300 from that, maybe 200 from the surveys is 500 plus the 1,400 from Taco Bell was 1,900. So, doing the extra side hustles technically was like a second job, even though I was working part-time. But that's how I was able to kind of survive because I did whatever I could to minimize the expenses. I was eating at Taco Bell every day, so free food. So technically, if you want to put it, I was getting paid a little bit more than 12 because I didn't have to buy food. I had the slowest phone plan, the slowest internet. Those are some things that are non-negotiable for me because I have to be on the internet. I also want to give a little bit of context in this next clip. I am an alcoholic. I'm actually doing a 30-day reset right now. This video will be uploaded sometime in December next month. It's going to film the past 30 days of my life just quitting alcohol and nicotine, all these bad habits that you'll see in this video. I'm just freaking out because I was late to work. I woke up late and, if I get fired, then I literally could go homeless. So I was freaking out. The next clip is me calling an Uber to go to work because I was late. And even though it was a 30-minute walk, I was like, I need to get there ASAP. If I lose this job, it could be really bad for me. I know it's literally just Taco Bell. Probably shouldn't matter that much, but I'm so broke, and if I lose this job, then things will be really bad for me. And I woke up in a panic. I instantly got ready. It took me like 15 minutes. I'm literally late to work today because of alcohol and vape, and I can't really play this game anymore. Alright, luckily I don't think they were too mad at me for coming in late. It wasn't that busy. It picked up a lot after I got there, so yeah. Long story short, I was at Taco Bell for a couple months. Not gonna lie, I did get comfortable, which is not what you want to do. I could go into so much detail about how crazy Taco Bell was. For example, like one of the coworkers that I had was homeless, living in the dumpster behind Taco Bell. He wouldn't shower, and he would be the person making your food. If you're in Las Vegas and you came to the one on Trop, Like, there's a chance that some guy in the dumpster made your food, and the general manager would not fire him because it was his son's boyfriend. Like, it's absolutely insane. If you guys want me to get into details, leave some comments. Maybe I will make a separate video. Just depends on if you guys want like the full story. Like, that wasn't even like the craziest party. There's like so much crazy stuff that happened there. I was realizing that I was pretty much plateauing, really stagnant. There's people that were coming and going every single day. I was kind of getting fed up with people complaining all the time. I made some friends there and we all kind of agreed, like, why are we still here? This sucks. Like, we probably should be getting paid more because we work the graveyard shift. We kind of brainstormed. I did some research. I'm like, yo, In-N-Out, Panda Express, they would pay 50% more, and it's probably doing the same thing, probably a better job too. Already at this point, I pretty much committed to quitting Taco Bell, but I did ask for a raise, just because, until I find that new job, I want to at least maximize as much as I can get. I asked for a raise. The manager said, maybe we can give you 25 cents. And I was like, okay, dude, that's pretty much the last straw. My lunch of that day, I went the whole time I was applying to jobs on Indeed. I think I applied to at least 200 jobs within a week, maybe more, maybe less. I don't even know. I'm just throwing out rough numbers, but if there is an apply button, I clicked apply. I don't care if it was applying to be a dentist, I clicked apply. I applied to every single job because you never know what's going to happen. A lot of the times the jobs have weird descriptions and you don't fully understand it. It doesn't hurt to go to the interview. So I just applied to every single job. Currently going in for another interview right now. I believe it is January 8th, 2025. Going in to apply to Cox right now. It's like 2 buses, an hour and a half, just kind of far. I'm just trying to get my foot in right now, get 2 solid jobs, and as soon as I get that, then I can start working on getting actual better jobs that pay like 15 to 20. I just want to get 2 to start off and trying to explore my options. As I was getting ready to walk here, I actually got a call from someone at MGM Resorts, and I have another interview lined up tomorrow at 11:45. And huge, this is a job fair, I think on Wednesday, next week Wednesday. Yeah, I'll probably find a second job, hopefully within the next week or 2. Alright, I just got done doing the Cox interview, like somewhere back there. Seems interesting. Alright, it's Wednesday, January 8th, 2025. An interview at a internet service provider. I think they start at $13, but it's also commission based. So they said the minimum commissions that people hit there is 40. I did the math, that's like an extra 800. So full-time plus the commissions is already 2,800, basically double what I get at Taco Bell. So if I can swap Taco Bell to like part-time, that would be insane, because if not, then I'm about to work like 70 hours a week, which is insane. I had another job interview at the Venetian yesterday. So Cox pays a little bit more, but the Venetian, I feel like I'd have more benefits for sure. So both jobs provide insurance, health insurance, which I don't have right now, which is important, but Venetian gives 2 meals per day, and this is like a super fancy hotel. Like, I think one night there is like $1,500 I was seeing on the website. So I can't even imagine what the food would be like if we get free employee meals. We also got a gym, but when I went there, apparently 8 other people were applying, so I have like 1 out of 8 shot. So yeah, I'm just gonna keep applying to jobs. I applied to like another Japanese small restaurant. The day before that, I heard back from them today, said they weren't interested. So whatever. I'm gonna go to work right now at 11 p.m. Get off at 6, and I believe I have 2 more interviews. I think I have one at MGM, and I think the other one is like Premier Marketing. I don't know what that is, but I'll refresh that when I'm on break or something. I don't even know what I'm applying to because I applied to so many jobs. I think in the past week I've applied to like 140 jobs. So 140 jobs, and I think like 6 interviews. It's like 6 out of 140, because I do have another interview on Friday at a little Mexican restaurant, Cafe Rio or something, like the one that I'm least excited for, but at least we got some options, Still going towards the light at the end of the tunnel. I believe things will only get better. Things will fall into place once I get a better job. I might have like $200-300 after I pay all my bills February 1st. So definitely want to start saving up money in case of emergency or anything else happen. It's always good to have saved money. Also, I need to pay off debt, and I need to buy a car. So we're gonna have to figure out how all that works. My driver's license is currently suspended. I think I owe like $800. Last time I remember, it was like $800 or like 60 hours of community work, community service. I don't really remember because this was like 3-4 years ago, but we'll figure it out. Pulling up on work right now, so I'm gonna end this. All right, currently at the bus stop right now. I have another interview at MGM Grand. I actually have no idea what this interview is for. I just saw MGM Grand. I actually don't even know what I'm signing up for. Fingers crossed. We'll see what happens. Applied, had an interview. It is a MGM, but it's like I'm not actually going to be employed by MGM. It's going to be people that are like leasing out a spot in MGM. Apparently they have 91 stores all over Las Vegas. I think they start at $15 part-time right now. Part-time at $15 is around $1,500 a month, plus Taco Bell's around $3K. So I'll be able to save like almost $2,000, and it's still a part-time job, so I'll have like time to sleep and shit, which is nice. The interviewer guy really liked me, but I think there's a little bit of a problem because he wants me to close, but I work at Taco Bell and it might get in the way of things. So see what I can do. You forget how like tiny you are when you're walking around in the city. January 9th, 2025. And we got some pretty big news today. Well, I got a call from Cox, the internet provider, and they said that I was hired. And they start at $14 full-time. They also pay commission. They said that everyone usually hits $800 worth of commission, and that's also the base minimum to even be hired. So if we consider that, then that's around $3,200 a month plus overtime maybe. So 32 from Cox and $1,400 from Taco Bell is around $4,600. So that's actually massive because I'm like 2xing, almost 3xing my income. And if I locked in on social media, I can bring it up to like 5K. Lock in on like surveys, social media, technically would have like 3 jobs at that point. Since it is 2 full-time jobs, it's like, I think I got pretty lucky on the scheduling, but it's also, I'm only in training right now, so it could get worse. We'll see. So if I start making around $5,000 a month, I'll have $4,000 extra after all my bills are paid. I could wipe my debt in 1 month. All the pieces of the puzzle are slowly getting put together. I had another interview, by the way, today. Seemed like a promising job, but it's basically like a job at a big hotel, but it was underground in like a super tiny shop. And when we were doing the interview, I was there for an hour and 1 person walked in. So that job would have been super chill, but I make more money at Cox. I get better benefits, and yeah, I think that was a better option. Even though that job interview that I went for today was only 30 minutes away, 1 bus, I still think Cox is the better option, even though it's 2 buses, an hour and 40 minutes away. That's gonna be ass, but we'll make it work. It just sucks because a lot of that time is like time that I should be sleeping, catch up on sleep, but I can't catch up on sleep because it takes me 2 hours to get back home or to get there via bus. So I gotta figure this shit out. But anyways, keep moving forward. Things are looking good. Things are falling into place. All right, Sunday, January 12th. I literally just woke up like 15 minutes ago, but we got ready. Going to Taco Bell right now. Pretty much woke up when I should have left to work, so I'm gonna be like 15 minutes late. Do I care? Not really. It's Taco Bell. I wanted to get as much sleep as I could tonight because today will be the first day that I work 2 jobs. We're on break at Taco Bell. I think it's like 2 a.m. right now. 4 more hours of this until I gotta like run home, shower up, take the bus, another 2 hours to my second job. Currently just about 9 o'clock here, and I'm waiting for my manager to come from Chick-fil-A. I'm just chilling outside until he unlocks the door. So yeah, I work here 9 to 5, and then as soon as I'm done here, I gotta go home on the bus. I gotta sleep for like 3 hours maybe, and then I got another 11 to 6 shift, and then I work again 9 to 5. Basically I'm getting like 3 hours of sleep every day, and this is for 3 days. 2 days out of the working week I get to sleep like 8 hours normally, and then the other 3 days I get to sleep like 3. So we're gonna see how long we can do this before I start getting burnt out. It's pretty possible to do right now because I'm basically just doing training at Cox, which is the internet service provider. So I'm basically just sitting on my ass in a Zoom call learning about random technical terms and whatnot, so it's super easy. It is my last day here at Cox Communications. It's pretty bittersweet. They really saved me from Taco Bell when I was in a bad spot. It was a great job for the 2 months that I was here, and literally killed it the last month I was here. Went out with a bang, and now I'm on to the next job, which will hopefully be good. I know it's going to pay more, but we'll just hope that everyone's cool there, because I'm leaving a lot of cool people that I met here. I'm grateful for everything that they have done for me, and I wouldn't be where I'm at right now without Cox. We walk into the sunset as we prepare for the next chapter in our lives. Long story short, with Cox, I believe I was there for like 2.5 months. The third month is when I actually had like a chance to sell. That's when I had a quota. Of course, I had like a ramp up, so I wasn't expected to hit the maximum or the basically like what everyone is expected to hit. I had a lower goal because I was new. I hit the goal. Not only did I hit the goal, I actually hit the quota of what you're supposed to hit after you've been here for a couple months. It was actually a super easy job. I was kind of scared because I had zero sales experience. I barely graduated high school. I did not go to college. I basically have no skills except for a little bit of social media, I would say. Uh, I am a nerd, so I've always known about the internet. I've always been kind of into phones from like Marquez Brownlee, just watching YouTube videos and stuff like that. I was never like super into it, but I definitely had like a general understanding of like the internet and Wi-Fi. So it wasn't a huge, super rough transition for me, kind of jumping into the cell phone world. It also made it a lot easier because what we sold at Cox was a lot cheaper. It was basically one of the cheapest mobile plans in the game. Um, the only thing cheaper is someone called Mint, which is what I actually use. Cox is actually still more expensive than Mint. Even with the employee discount, I pay $15 per month right now for 5 GB. If you want to sign up, use the link in the description. I'm not sponsored by them, but I do get a kickback. I just want to pre-warn you as well. Mint is a part of T-Mobile, but the way it works, how it's cheaper, if you're next to someone with T-Mobile internet, they're going to have priority signal to the tower. So if you need cellular data like really fast, if that's important to you, then don't sign up for Mint. But if you're just trying to save money like me and you don't really care, then Mint can help you save money. It really doesn't feel real the way that I got hired. Essentially, at the job, we're supposed to sell the phone plan, obviously, just kind of pitch to everyone like, hey, it's pretty simple. It's like, hey, how much you paying? Oh, did you know that we're cheaper? Are you interested? No? Okay, whatever. Yes? Okay. Sign up right now? Nope. Okay, how about I call you back in a week or so and I'll check up on you. So that's usually how most of the conversations go. They won't sign up on the spot, but you'll give them time to think about it. You can call them back. You'll get like a temperature check, see if they want to sign up. So the reason why I think it's so crazy is because so many things lined up to the point of how I got this six-figure job. One, it's like I applied to so many different jobs, as you can see. In the description, it didn't even say that I was applying for Cox. It said they're a third party company that Cox hires, I think, and their specialty is to sell phones. So I didn't even realize that I was going in for a Cox interview until the manager called me and set up the interview process. So not only was that like super random, I have no sales experience, so I don't know how I got hired. I guess the manager just liked me. Not only that, but there's three things that happened one day that if it didn't line up, I would have never gotten this job. For one, someone called out. So I wasn't even supposed to be going into work that day. One of my coworkers called out. My manager called me, said, "Hey, can you come in today?" I said, "Sure." I didn't mind because I literally do nothing at home. I just wanted more money. So I was like, all right, whatever. Because not only am I getting hourly, I'm getting overtime and I'm going to get commission for coming in. So I didn't mind it. So someone had to call out for that to happen. Second of all, when I was there's a big line when I got in. Started helping people out. I think that there's 3 people, including me, helping out the customers. So it's basically just like a single file line, and whichever one of my coworkers finishes with the customer they call the next person, right? So the second crazy thing is that the person that I was talking to, I essentially convinced him to go to Verizon and drop his 3 lines because he was paying $300 for something that we only charged $100 for. So I was like, yeah, dude, we're saving you like a couple $1,000s a year. Just go switch and come back. So that was the first thing that happened. This guy was like, starting to get convinced to swap to us. The reason why this was so crazy is because the person behind him was a hiring manager for the 6-figure job. The third crazy thing is the hiring manager could have went to any of us. He could have went to me or my other 2 coworkers. Somehow he overheard the whole conversation with the guy going back to Verizon, and he comes up to me next. He comes in, I pitch him the same thing with the phones. He doesn't seem interested. He mentioned that he was in a contract or something. So I was like, all right. But he did mention, like, hey, reach out to me in a month or two or in a couple weeks. Maybe, well, I'll see what I can do. I'll talk to my wife, yada, yada, yada. So I was like, okay. So a couple weeks go by. I call him. Um, and at this point, I had no idea that he was a hiring manager. I'm just calling him because he said call me back and get like a temperature check on where he is with the mobile plan. So I call him. He said, yeah, I'm still in a contract, but thanks for letting me know. It does seem like I can save some money, but I don't know about now. But I found out some new information because keep in mind I was still fairly new to the job. I figured out that you can actually buy out your way out of a contract, and I called him again. I mentioned that to him. I told him that he would actually be saving money if even if he bought out his contract, the amount of savings per month if he were to keep us for X amount of months, he would be saving money. So I told him that. He was like, He thought about it. He's like, call me back in a week. I'm going to talk to my wife. I'm going to think it over. So called him back the next week. He said, yeah, I remember you. I'm like, hey, it's me from Cox Store. I called you twice, in the previous month. He's like, yeah, I remember you. And the first thing he says to me is, how much money do you currently make at your job right now? The first thing that popped up into my mind was, this guy is about to offer me some crazy job, like some life changing job, some crazy job. I had a very short conversation, like 1 to 2 minutes with him. I told him like, hey, I'm at work. I gotta finish up here, and I'll call you back. I told him how much I made, and he's like, I'm a hiring manager at XYZ company. If you're interested, we're hiring. I think you'd be a good fit. Keep in mind, I was still at work on the work phone, so I had to be pretty cordial. There's still people online that needed help. I told them, hey, give me your number. I'll text you after work. I'll give you a call. So that's what I did. On the Uber ride home, I called him. He told me a little bit more about the company. It all sounds so skeptical because who does that? Like, who goes up to you randomly over the phone? I talked to him once or twice. I barely even remember what he looked like or what his name was. I had to look at my list of people who to call to remember what his name was. He's essentially telling me it's pretty similar to what I'm doing right now, except instead of selling phones, we're selling software to dental offices. Because that's one of the things that piqued my interest. Was selling was pretty fun actually. When you know that you convert the person into buying, it's like a rush of dopamine, I would say. So obviously I was skeptical. It is weird. Luckily, one of my family members is in the healthcare space. I asked them about it. They told me that this company that's trying to hire you is super legit, and you should look more into it and take the offer if it makes sense. On that phone call, he also told me that training starts in about 3 weeks. So I had essentially 2 weeks to make that decision. Typically, the field of SaaS and sales, tech sales, you need to have years of experience, or you need to start off as an SDR, as the appointment setter. But me, I had no experience. I even told them that. I was trying to convince them not to hire me. I'm like, I literally have no experience. Are you sure this is something that you want to do? And they're essentially just explaining hey, as long as you give it 110%, you'll do fine. And they're kind of stuck with me in my head. They told me, hey, just think about it. If you have any questions in the next week, give me a call. So I thought about it for a week or two, and I chat GPT'd my resignation letter to Cox. I talked to my manager at Cox because I really did respect him. I think the manager that I had at Cox was one of the best managers that I've had. He's just a very good teacher. I think that he has a good sense of humor as well as also keeping that serious side. You have to hit the quotas, but I think that he was a good manager. He taught me a lot, and he essentially got me this six-figure job. He told me, "I don't blame you if you go for it," but not that he's mad, but more of like disappointed that I'm leaving because I was doing all right. He invested so much resources, and I'm just leaving. But he said he understood it, so put in the resignation letter. I was there for 2 weeks, and you know. All right, I just did the drug test. It was a little urine cup that I had to pee in. The person there, super bad, like baddie, like goddamn, bro. I had to pee in a little cup. Had to give her my pee. Like half dressed, half not. Got some shoes on, some jeans, polo, shaved. Probably gonna put on cologne. It's just gonna be a pretty uneventful day, I would say. Just gonna be training, probably signing a bunch of papers, logging into the system, getting familiar with it, meeting the team. It's probably gonna be pretty stress-free, but pretty excited. Pretty excited. Not really feeling too anxious. I already called the Uber. But yeah, I had the last day with my old team yesterday. We got pizza, and today I start the new journey. A couple of minutes here, my friend's picking me up to go to New York. We'll be saying goodbye to my cat for a couple days. But she's in good hands. I got my friend. We really out here, boys. JetBlue. New York, baby. All right, so we made it to New York. Got a pretty dope view. Super cold. Hotel's pretty nice. So I left my wallet on the airplane, and I'm kind of freaking out because I kind of need that to get home. So I haven't really been able to enjoy it. It's probably going to be on my mind the entire time that I'm here, so that's pretty rough. Also, the bathroom is pretty fried. Like, there's like almost no lip, so as soon as I turned on the water, it all started like coming out over here because I was trying to let it warm up. I didn't realize that it overflowed. Now I had to like get two towels to clean it up. So we're off to a terrible start. At least I had a good dinner. I still have Apple Pay, so it's not like I'm super screwed, but I don't know how I'm gonna get back home without an ID. They ended up finding my wallet. One of the cleaner ladies found it. I picked it up at the airport before I went back to Las Vegas. The trip was great. We had like 5 days of 8-hour training sessions. There was they hosted a really good dinner, and but that's besides the point. I don't really know how much I should go into detail about the job. Here's a clip of me, quote unquote, working. Majority of the days were just me on Zoom or cold calling people. So crazy thing is, I actually quit that job. I quit that job 2 months ago. Coming from Taco Bell, it might sound a little crazy. If you're wondering why I quit that job, I have a full video. I go into detail on that. It's going to be linked in the description below. Maybe also the pinned comment. But yeah, it was a great job. It just wasn't for me. So I recommend watching that video. And right now I'm currently unemployed. I don't know what I'm going to do. Making content is pretty fun, but I'm also not making any money from it. So, probably going to have to get another job here pretty soon. It's at least good that I have sales experience because I could probably pick something up. I don't have to go and revert myself back to Taco Bell. There's one good thing. Definitely learned a lot. Going to New York was fun. Oh, and honorable mention, here is, I guess, one of my boss's car. And when I saw that, I was like, dude, if I stay here long enough, I'll have one of these. And I ended up quitting. So just never give up. You can do it. You're never stuck as long as you keep trying.